You click on that icon, the one with the 4 colors. You do it every single day, right? Maybe you're searching for a recipe, or maybe you're looking up how to fix a leaking sink, or maybe you're trying to figure out if that weird pain in your knee is something you should actually be worried about. You don't even think about it anymore. It's an involuntary muscle spasm. You open up Google Chrome, you type your little thought into the little box, and you hit enter. And in that fraction of a second before the page even loads, you have already surrendered. You've surrendered to an ecosystem that doesn't view you as a human being with questions, but as a data point with a wallet. An ecosystem that has decided, quite literally, what you are allowed to see, how you are allowed to see it, and most importantly, what you are forced to swallow along the way. We are living in an era where the concept of the internet, this beautiful, chaotic, wildly unhinged library of human knowledge, is being sanitized and spoon-fed to us by a single monolithic entity. And right now, today, that entity is actively making a decision that will make your experience of that internet demonstrably, undeniably worse. Google Chrome is killing your ad blocker. Now wait, hold on. Before you roll your eyes and think, okay, great, another tech bro telling me what browser to use, just listen. This isn't about loyalty to some software brand. This isn't about some pretentious tech elitism where I tell you that you're an idiot for using the same browser as 65% of the planet. This is about a fundamental shift in how the internet operates and how much control you are willing to give up to a company that profits from your attention. Let's break it down. Google Chrome has introduced something called Manifest v2, or rather, they are getting rid of it. Without getting bogged down in the absolute nightmare of technical jargon, what this means is that Chrome is fundamentally changing the architecture of how its extensions work. The old system, Manifest v2, allowed for powerful, dynamic ad blockers like uBlock Origin to stop ads and trackers dead in their tracks before they even had a chance to load onto your screen. The new system, Manifest v3, essentially neuters them. It puts a hard limit on the number of rules an ad blocker can use. It restricts their ability to dynamically filter out the garbage that floods your screen. It means that uBlock Origin, the gold standard of ad blocking, the tool that millions of people rely on for a functional internet experience, will no longer work on Google Chrome. They've even released uBlock Origin Lite to comply with the new rules, but it's a shadow of its former self. It lacks the teeth required to actually protect you. And why is Google doing this? They'll tell you it's for security. They'll tell you it's for performance. They'll tell you it's to protect you from malicious extensions. But let's be brutally, painfully honest with ourselves here. Where does Google make its money? Search engine revenue, advertisements. Google is an advertising company. They are arguably the largest advertising company in the history of human civilization. They don't want you blocking ads. Every ad you block is a fraction of a cent that doesn't go into their incomprehensibly large bank account. They have a vested, existential interest in making sure that you see as many ads as humanly possible. But here is where the philosophy of this whole situation gets incredibly dark. Here is where it stops being about annoying pop-ups and starts being about a fundamental erosion of user agency. We are forced to interact with the internet through a lens controlled by the very people who profit from distorting it. Think about the sheer volume of absolute slop that gets thrown at you every day. Fake life insurance policies fronted by AI-generated deepfakes of billionaires. Phishing scams designed to look exactly like your bank's login page. Ransomware disguised as a download link for a PDF reader. And who is telling you to use an ad blocker? The FBI. Literally, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Chief Cyber Warfare Division in the United States, officially recommends using an ad blocker because cyber criminals use search engine advertisements to deliver malware. So the FBI tells you to use a shield, And the company that builds the road you drive on is telling you that shields are no longer allowed. It is an absurd, almost comedic level of dystopia. You are being forced into a digital environment that is actively hostile to your safety, and the tool you use to navigate that environment is actively disabling your defenses. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy talking to a microphone. Maybe you like the ads. Maybe you enjoy the thrill of playing digital Russian roulette every time you click a link. For real though, it's kind of cringe when you think about how easily we just accept this. We accept it because Chrome is the default. It's the easiest path. You buy a new computer, you open up whatever terrible built-in browser it comes with, Edge, Safari, whatever, and the very first thing you do, almost instinctively, is search for Google Chrome. It's a habit. It's a ritual. And this habit is exactly what allows these massive tech conglomerates to slowly, methodically boil the frog. They don't take away all your rights overnight. They do it incrementally. A small policy change here, a tweak to an algorithm there, until one day you wake up and realize that the internet isn't really a place you explore anymore. It's a curated feed of corporate slop designed to extract as much value from you as possible. This brings us to the terrifying reality of AI overviews. You've probably seen them. You search for a question, and instead of a list of websites, Google spits out a summarized answer right at the top of the page, generated by their AI. On the surface, it seems convenient, but underneath, it is a catastrophic shift in the ecology of the internet. Google is turning the internet into a zero-click environment. If Google's AI gives you the answer directly, you never click on the website that originally created that answer. The writer, the journalist, the creator who spent hours researching and crafting that information gets nothing. No traffic, no ad revenue, nothing. Their work is essentially cannibalized by an algorithm, regurgitated in a slightly different format, and served back to you. And here is the kicker. Google is already testing ways to inject advertisements directly into those AI overviews, so you can't block the ads with your nerfed Chrome extensions, and you can't avoid the ads in the AI summaries. And the original creators who actually make the internet worth reading are being starved out of existence. It's a closed loop, a perfectly designed echo chamber where Google owns the search, Google owns the browser, Google owns the AI, and Google owns the ads. You are not the user in this scenario. You are the product. You are the resource being mined. This is the hyper-consumerist nightmare we have built for ourselves. We traded privacy and control for convenience. We gave up the wild, decentralized internet for the sterile, heavily monetized, walled garden of a few tech monopolies. We traded our sanity for the ability to search for a recipe slightly faster. I remember a few years ago, I was sitting in a coffee shop, trying to get some work done. I didn't have my usual setup, just a cheap laptop I borrowed from a friend. I opened up Chrome, and instantly it was like walking into a crowded bazaar where everyone was screaming at me. Pop-ups, auto-playing videos, banner ads tracking my mouse movements. It was overwhelming. It was physically exhausting to just read an article. It made me realize how much cognitive load we carry every single day just by navigating this digital landscape. We are constantly filtering out noise. We are constantly evaluating whether a link is safe, whether an image is real, whether an article is just AI-generated clickbait. And now, the browser that most of the world uses is telling us that we can no longer mute the noise. So what do? We leave. It is that simple. And yet, it feels so difficult because we are creatures of habit. But breaking this habit is the first step toward reclaiming some semblance of control over your digital life. Delete Google Chrome. Or if you can't bring yourself to actually delete it, at least stop using it. Switch to a browser that respects your agency. Look into Brave. It's built on the same Chromium engine as Chrome, so it feels familiar, but it has ad blocking built directly into its core at a level that Google can't easily restrict. Look into WaterFox or Firefox or any of the open source alternatives that aren't beholden to the profit margins of an advertising giant. It takes maybe 2 minutes to download a new browser. It takes another minute to import your bookmarks. And in exchange for those 3 minutes, you get a quieter, safer, and infinitely more tolerable internet experience. You don't have to accept the slop. You don't have to live in the walled garden. You have a choice. And making that choice, stepping outside the ecosystem that expects you to blindly consume whatever it puts in front of you, is an act of quiet rebellion. It's a way of saying that you value your attention, your time, and your sanity more than you value the convenience of a familiar icon. We have to stop pretending that this technology is neutral. It is built with intent, and the intent of Google Chrome is to serve you ads. If you are tired of the noise, if you are tired of the constant, unending barrage of monetization, then take back your agency. The internet used to be ours. It can be ours again, but only if we refuse to use the tools designed to control us. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you want to dive deeper into this kind of stuff, come hang out in the Discord. The link is somewhere around here. We talk about tech, philosophy, and how not to lose our minds in the modern world. It's a good time. Take care of yourselves, and we will talk again soon.